Hey, welcome back, subscribers, to my world of stocks. I've got a very special episode for you today to kick off the new year with a bang because I decided to add a brand new stock to my personal portfolio, and that is a REIT actually in Postal Realty Trust, ticker symbol PSTL. So let's break down what they do and why I'm going to be buying this one throughout 2026. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's go ahead and jump straight into it. All right, now, as you guys know, I've been a huge fan of REITs lately. I've probably been talking about them more than anyone on YouTube this past year, and the reason why is very simple. It's one of the few areas where I feel I can still find tremendous value at a time when the stock market continues to break record highs. Now, there's obviously going to be good reason for that, right? Like if you're a value investor, you know very well that you never get value for free in the market, especially when that market itself is ripping higher all the time. There's going to be some type of reason, some type of headwind that is creating that value opportunity for you. Well, in the case of REITs, in my opinion, it's had to do with three primary causes: high interest rates and inflation, the rise of e-commerce hurting brick and mortar retail, and the rise of remote work causing office building vacancies. Obviously, there's going to be more than just that, but I'd probably argue that those are the big three that have specifically been weighing down on the entire REIT sector. However, Postal is a special case. Like the other REITs that I've been buying over the past year, I'm really hunting for outliers here, companies with essential infrastructure that the world can't really do without, which brought me straight to Postal, who I feel is uniquely insulated from almost all the major issues that are hurting other REITs at large. And yet the valuation and dividend both look extremely attractive to me at these levels. So, starting with the business. Well, if you haven't guessed already by the name, this is a real estate company that focuses specifically on properties leased to the United States Postal Service. Now, think about that for a second. Their tenant is the US government, and that's resulted in a gigantic lease retention rate of typically more than 99% on average, even at their massive size, owning close to 1,900 different properties across 49 different states. Now, why is that? Well, it's because post offices are critical logistics infrastructure. In fact, many people don't even realize that the US Postal Service alone covers nearly half of the entire world's volume of mail. How crazy is that? Or did you know that even shipping giants like UPS and FedEx actually pay them to handle their last mile deliveries in many areas because they already visit every address in the country, making it cheaper and more convenient to just pay them instead. Even e-commerce leaders like Amazon, Shopify, and eBay all rely on this network too. So while other REITs are worried about e-commerce killing their malls, for Postal, it's actually a bit of a tailwind, because more packages ultimately means that the US Postal Service will end up needing these facilities more than ever before. Plus, you have to remember too that in the world of commercial real estate, many typical mall or even office building leases tend to be set in stone for a decade or more at a completely flat rent, meaning it never really goes up, but rather just kind of stays leveled at the same rates. Well, this can be a huge disadvantage though for a real estate investment trust, especially if costs start rising like we've seen for years now, given the sky high inflation and elevated interest rates. However, for Postal, well, they're actually managing this environment much better than most, as they've been incredibly strategic and programmatic with their approach to these new headwinds. See, instead of just sitting on old contracts, they've actually put a dedicated system in place to convert those legacy flat rent leases into new modernized agreements that feature 10-year terms with built-in annual rent escalations. What this means is that as time goes on, their rents will actually grow larger too, which are already trickling down to their profits and added funds from operations. Simply put, though, this systematic shift is a massive internal growth engine for the company, and it's a big reason why I'm more optimistic than ever about their future. And the most recent data from their November investor presentation already shows that about 37% of their entire portfolio has been converted into these new rent agreements that feature the new escalations. And yet, not only has it not affected their retention rates whatsoever, really, but the company is actually expecting really there to be no roadblocks for the rest of their portfolio to get converted in the future either. Rather, they simply just need to wait for the old contracts to expire, which is a great tailwind to look forward to long term. I mean, that's always what you want to see in one of your investments, right? Like if you're a long term investor, you want to have a built in tailwind that you can rely on long term. And that's why I think this is really just an absolute game changer for the company that should result in their rental income growing automatically every single year throughout the future, regardless of whether they buy any new buildings or not, thus providing a level of predictable organic growth that most other REITs in the office or retail space really simply can't match right now. And another benefit that this adds is that it allows Postal to perform well regardless of macro headwinds like inflation and interest rates. High inflation, for example, gets offset by rising rent, while their net lease agreements even shield the company from rising costs for maintenance, taxes, and more. And lower inflation would likely mean lower interest rates, which makes borrowing costs cheaper, allowing them to go out and make more acquisitions to grow larger over time, too. But the result of all this has been strong financial performance over the years for Postal Realty, with growing sales, operating income, funds from operations, hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on acquisitions, and a rising dividend too, which we'll touch on in just a second. But the last point that I'll just make really quick here is that this postal real estate market is still highly fragmented and ripe for consolidation, with Postal themselves only owning about 8% of the total leased market. Now, to put that into perspective, there's over 23,000 leased post offices in the country that are owned by nearly 17,000 different mom and pop landlords. And because Postal is the only public company with a dedicated platform to buy these properties at scale, well, they have a massive runway to keep consolidating this niche for years to come. It's a huge growth opportunity that it's almost like hiding in plain sight. As good as all of that sounds, though, it wouldn't be worth much without a reasonable valuation and dividend to go along with it, right? Well, not only are they reasonable, but I actually think they're hugely attractive. The stock, for example, has already lost nearly a quarter of its value from the top and is even slightly negative since going public back in 2019, which has left their valuation dirt cheap, even trading more than 20% lower than the sector on forward funds from operations. So you tack on the monster dividend of more than 6% of a yield, which has been grown every year since going public. And I don't know, guys, I think that I'm looking at one heck of a REIT stock here to be buying for the long term, especially if it happens to go any lower too. But even here, I'm already a buyer. What do you guys think? The bottom line for me is that I wanted a 6% dividend that is sort of backed by the US government with a business model that doesn't care about remote work or retail trends and that is generally shielded, at least to some degree, from the headwinds of inflation and interest rates. I believe Postal gives me this, at least to some degree, to a large degree, I'd say. And it's why I'm choosing to invest in them. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down below too. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I said, and we can discuss it further down in the comments. And as always, this of course is just my own opinion and what I'm doing with my own money, but you should do your own research and, see if any stock in particular fits your own specific goals. But hey, either way, Happy New Year, my friends. I am so incredibly thankful that you guys welcome me into your homes every week to share my passion for stocks. And look, whether I ever get something wrong or don't do a good enough job for you, I just want you to know that I appreciate you sticking with me regardless and helping me make stock market investing as fun and as least stressful as possible for everyone out there. I hope you get that from this channel, and I wish you all the absolute best in the years to come. And with all that said, I will just go ahead and catch you in the next video. All right, God bless. Take care, my friends. Love you all. Bye-bye.